context of today is that we've got a double header on Saturday night, so exciting to have the girls on and then you playing as well on the same night at the G.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the girls will be pretty excited, and I encourage everyone to get down and watch. The girls did really well last year, but I'm sure they want to go one more, so this is the start of their sort of campaign. They had a practice match on the weekend. I think it was against Essendon, but I'm sure they're looking forward to getting out of the G and playing again.
How much do you cross over between the two groups?
Oh, look, it's been bloody hard the last couple of years, and obviously still now with COVID running around, there is some protocols that not only we have to live by, but I'm sure the girls do too. So it has been hard, but last year when they were making their run towards finals, all the boys were getting around and watching it, so it was good fun.
It's good for the energy levels inside a club as well, isn't it, to have you both in the mix at the same time?
Yeah, absolutely, and that was the situation last year. So. For us, we were pretty shattered when they lost, as I'm sure Libby will talk about soon. But we were barracking hard, and I'm sure we'll be doing the same this year.
Men's team, you had a really dominant first half. Is it one you should have won, or Collingwood just do enough to?
Yeah, look, they're a pretty good side, Collingwood, and we're very disappointed that we lost. I was extremely disappointed the next day, probably as flat as I've been after a game. I thought that we played some good footy in the first half, and has been a little bit of a trend at the minute of us starting well and then not being able to finish, and I'm sure we'll touch on it today, but we're pretty disappointed. But to Collingwood's credit, they just found a way. They were with us the whole game, and I thought that the way they were able to go inside 50 and score was pretty dominant. So for us, we'll have a look at that, but we were pretty disappointed that we lost.
And the coach as well, Jake, he seemed filthy post-match in the media conference. So
yeah.
Was that sort of symbolic of the feeling generally post-match, an opportunity lost?
Yeah, I think so. I think for us, as I mentioned before, that we have been in a lot of situations where we've played some good footy throughout, but particularly the first half, and then we have let things slip, whether that's through role playing or potentially, just thinking about the result rather than continue to focus on our process. And for us, we felt like on Friday night we let one slip, but as I said, Collingwood's credit, you don't just win games of footy, and I think they've won 11 in a row now. You don't win 11 in a row without being a good side, and we knew that going into the game they were going to just stick with us, and we didn't take our chances, and we're sitting here without the 4 points, and we've got a pretty important couple of weeks coming up.
Collingwood's ability to surge at the death, it's been well documented over the last couple of weeks. How does it feel being the opposing team as that's unfolding on field?
Yeah, I think you have a little bit of envy towards it. It was really reflecting on it. You could see that the way they enjoyed each other's success, and that's something that we've really prided ourselves on as a footy club. But for us, I thought that probably in the last quarter we didn't do that, and Collingwood were able to just get the ball forward and score on the back of it. And in the end, they took over, and then the last 3 minutes, I think there was about 10 stoppages. We just couldn't get it out of our area, and in the end, we ran out of time, but Collingwood were too good.
So what do you take from that approach? How do you kind of try and re-implement it for you guys and the enjoyment you're talking about?
Oh, look, I don't think we went away from the enjoyment, or we haven't been. It was just more, you could sense that they had been in those situations a lot, and I think the stats of their wins this year are quite ridiculous in terms of close games. But for us, we'll just reflect on the way that we probably weren't able to continue that on in the fourth quarter. I probably used my words wrong there in terms of we still enjoy each other's success, and but it felt like we might have just went away from our role a little bit, and went away, as I said, from probably the process, and maybe started thinking about the result. And when you do that, good teams take advantage of it, and Collingwood did that.
If you play them again, will you approach it differently, do you think?
I don't think so. I think that, the first half we were able to play some good footy. I think it's just a reflection of how you have to be on for the whole 4 quarters in this game now. When I first come into the league, you could probably have, if you're a good side playing against a lower ranked side or something like that, or even someone against you, you could have maybe a quarter or two off and it wouldn't really matter. It was almost, the result was there. But nowadays, every team that you play, if you have a lapse in concentration or don't play the footy that you want to play, there's consequences, usually losing.
Stephen May didn't have the same sort of intercepting success that you do typically. Did you notice they did anything differently to to reduce that impact?
Probably not. I think that they've got some good forwards, and you have to really respect that. And I think they only had like 40 entries, and a lot of it was that fast transition that we know that Collingwood are really good at. So for us, it was just probably one of those games. But yeah, I think that myself and Stephen and Harry Petty will reflect on our games today, and I'm sure that probably all three of us would be pretty disappointed. But good opportunity to bounce back this weekend, and as I said, I think we'd be disappointed, but we know that we can bounce back.
What do you make of the Carlton challenge, and in particular Curnow and Mackay up there?
Probably first word is exciting. I think for us as a backs group, you look at their names up there, and they've got some serious talent. And I think, Charlie's kicked 60 goals this year, and Harry wouldn't be far behind. So we know that they've got a lot of scoring power up there. But for us, I think, and especially like guys like Stephen May, Hibbo, and Harry Petty, they thrive off that sort of stuff. So I think we'll have a good look at them, and we'll be looking forward to the challenge.
What does the top four mean to you? Is it the be all and end all? Is it you're not fussed because you think you can play your best footy regardless?
Oh, it's obviously pretty important. I think the history suggests that, but the good thing is it's kind of in our own hands now. If we win the next two, I haven't done the maths, but I think that if we win the next two, we'll probably finish top four. So that's super important for us, but we understand that we've got it in our own hands now. So we've just got to play the footy that we know, and can't think about, like I've mentioned before, can't think about the result and think about the process.
Thanks, Jake. Sorry.
I like you, Clint, so you can have one more question.
I was going to ask, about Ed, and do you still encourage him to sort of speak his mind? What did you take from that? Is he okay? Is he sheepish?
No, if you knew Ed, he's not very sheepish. He's look, I think that if he had his time again, he probably would have chose his words a little bit differently. That's not what we, as a footy club, we pride ourselves on respecting the competition and respecting our opposition. And so for us, we had a little bit of a laugh because Ed was probably doing something else. He was probably making himself a coffee while he was doing the interview or something like that, getting distracted. But if he had chose his words a little bit differently, he's a respectful person, Ed, so we understand that those comments weren't probably what he meant, but he did cop it in the first 5 or so minutes when he got tackled, and he was having a bit of a laugh. And I think Braden Maynard and him played junior footy together, so it does bring the emotional side back into the game a little bit more. And you could see that on Friday night. I thought it was a very emotional game, and there was a lot of feistiness towards each other throughout the game, and I'm sure that probably just fueled it. But knowing Ed, he probably would have liked to choose his words a little bit different next time.